Welcome to the Softest Fantasy Football Podcast. We're joined with Evan today.
Unlike your usual host, Connor, I've actually watched a football game before, so hopefully I
nice.
have some insightful analysis.
Well, let's start off with to gauge your credibility. What team do you root for?
They've gone through several iterations over the last few years. They currently are referred to as the Commanders.
Okay, so if Evan's rooting for them, probably put him on your bench. That's how you should treat all fantasy advice.
I believe you're a big Terry McLaurin fan, are you not?
Not this year. Sheesh. He's got old Curtis Samuel and a rookie outperforming him right now with the sleeper quarterback of the year. God, but So no,
hence
not.
why I've picked up Curtis Samuel in one of my leagues.
Yep. Yeah. Well, as well as anybody that he will full blown disappoint you as soon as you start him. So he sits on waiver wires. People pick him up. Then they go, I'm not going to start him this week. Then you start him, and then he gets 2 points.
Yeah, but he looks good on a bench.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Little trade bait, just throw it in there at the end, like.
That's right.
Hey, this is a pretty even trade. And then look at this guy's got 40 fantasy points already through the season.
Exactly.
So is that the Commanders are just bench trade value boosters?
I mean, look, no one wanted Antonio Gibson coming into the year, and he put out a hit on Brian Robinson.
Right. It took his competition getting shot for him to have fantasy value, which is incredible. We gotta watch out for DJ Moore putting out hits on the wide receivers at Carolina. Yeah. So cool. So so how are you guys doing so far this week? What's your leagues looking like?
We'll go first.
Sure. Well, I mean, in Softest, I've got Lamar and Diggs, so that's about all you need to know.
So big 2-0.
Yep. I mean, basically everyone else crapped the bed. But no, I'm 1-1 I'm 1-1 in Softest, but
with Lamar and Diggs.
Yeah, I lost week 1.
Was he a candidate for worst team in the league?
Me?
With the rest of his team?
No, Evan.
I've got the best team in the league.
Yeah, I got Evan's team on here.
First round. Yeah, throw that up, please.
There's Evan's team.
Okay, let's take a look at it. Let's do a deep dive. We'll start this off with week 2 of Evan's life going really well with Lamar. And you got Dalvin Cook, who's the worst first round pick next to any other running back that got taken in the first round.
Yeah,
correct.
And then David Montgomery, who's probably going to lose his job in 3 or 4 more games. And speaking of DJ Moore, there he is.
Look, I think CeeDee Lamb and Cooper Rush have a real connection.
Yeah. Well, did you see Dak Prescott might be coming back in less than 4 weeks?
Let's rush him back, baby.
Yep. And the age-old Brandon Cooks. Scroll down to his bench is on the right.
Yeah.
Wow. Kirk Cousins, super performer for Monday nights.
Yikes.
Yeah, I never remember how bad he sucks when he's the only person to watch.
Another fantastic former Washington Commander.
Yep. You got Dotson on there, so there's your Commander pick.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. You know what? This is a pretty decent team. It's got some length. Got some keepers in there. Looks like Olave might be somebody who's going to matter later on in the season.
Oh yes.
Darrell Henderson and Cordero Patterson probably not, but again, if you're looking for a fancy bench, looks like you got it.
I love some good names on my bench. It just makes me feel better.
Yeah. See, I like to have absolute garbage, so I'm not tempted to put them in at all.
I was talking to Calvin a couple days ago that I hate that I'm already at the point with my running back 2s and my flex that I don't know who to play. Do I put in Darrell Henderson? Do I put in David Montgomery?
Yep. get rid of them. I like combine 3 decent people for 1 good person, lose the trade, get some peace of mind. I'll send you some trades.
Okay, yeah, I'll be sure to accept them.
Yeah, your trades are amazing. Yeah, your team looks great looking at it right now. I guess that is your problem, is you just don't know who to play.
Right. Imagine accidentally putting in Cordero Patterson over David Montgomery.
That did occur.
Yeah. Or
did you do
TJ
that last week?
Hawkinson over Zach Ertz.
I did that as well. So this is the starting lineup you're looking at now was not my week 2 starting lineup. Like, I've already set it for week 3.
Yeah. Oh, got you.
So like, I did have Hawkinson starting, I had Patterson starting, and I had Henderson starting.
Nice. Okay. I like it.
Wow.
Well, you still won because you had Diggs and Lamar Jackson score 100 points on us. So
correct.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Who needs talent when you got them?
Yeah.
Calvin, how about you? How'd you do this week?
I was playing Dad, and all he had was the Bills' defense left, and the Titans were so bad that he beat me. Like, I had, and Adam Thielen did absolutely nothing. I needed Adam Thielen. He got 5 points, and I thought I just had to win, but the Bills ended up with like 26 points at the end on their defense, and I lost.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you're relying on a 32-year-old wide receiver who's behind Justin Jefferson to win you your week,
right. I was just relying on the Texans to have a decent game with the Bills, and that was it.
You mean the Titans?
Yep. The Titans, and they didn't. And yeah, the Bills are just so much better than both the teams they played already. Like, the Rams look so bad next to them, which is crazy.
Oh yeah, your team's not very good in that Softest league.
It's not.
Let's pull it up.
But that's
okay. Your team's not great, so we don't want to see it all at once.
But I got Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's doing better than both of your guys' picks for best running back of the year.
No, that's not true. I didn't draft a running back until the 5th round, I don't think.
No, I'm saying our predictions for number 1 running backs. Mine is beating both of yours.
Oh no, who did I pick?
Who did you pick?
Yeah, I wrote it in there.
Oh, I don't know where is that?
Jonathan Taylor. Ooh.
Yeah, you picked Jonathan
I know.
Taylor.
He has more points than Clyde Edwards-Helaire on the season. Nice try.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, even with the 7 points.
Does he really?
I mean, he went off week 1.
Right.
He's got
30.
He's got 39 or 38.
38.4 for CEH.
He's running back 6. What's Taylor? He's got to be lower.
Him. Who has him? Connor?
Yep.
He's got 36 points.
So he's running back 7.
Yeah, CEH is better.
Right yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about that. So I'm going to go to yours and Connor's results of the game last week. So Connor lost. So he's got to... The punishment was 2 people voted for Eat an Onion. So that's what is going to happen next week.
Yep. So
that was the game. If you guys want to highlight how bad Connor's team performed. Russell Wilson.
Yeah, right. Russell Wilson is totally washed. Like, instant drop. I don't know who he has on his bench. Oh, he doesn't even have another quarterback. Yeah. He just, he can't run anymore. So he's like a broken Kyler Murray, which if Kyler Murray couldn't run, he'd be the worst quarterback in the league. That guy makes terrible decisions all the time, and the only reason they succeed is because defense has to like hesitate because they're worried he's going to sprint in for something.
So you don't see the Broncos offense ascending as the season goes on.
No. I think eventually what will happen, so like Jerry Jeudy might be hurt too. think eventually what will happen is they're going to start to shift to allowing Javonte Williams to prove himself to kind of be like that RB1 like they want, and to move the offense in that direction, which is not what Russell Wilson wanted, but might not be good enough anymore to not have that be the offense. And then, I don't know, they don't throw the ball down the field like the Seattle Seahawks used to, and Russell scrambling to then chuck it was like his value before.
He's the best deep ball thrower in the league.
Was. Yeah.
You don't think that they're like? I feel like their rookie coach is also the problem, and he'll get better as the season gets on. No, you're just completely out.
That guy's getting five. Yeah, no, it takes a few years. Like, being a coach is tough. New team is tough. New type of offense when you're used to the same offense for the last 12 years is tough. And you have a bunch of guys who are used to losing. Got a bunch of losers on that team. So, yeah. Even your veteran, like Melvin Gordon, big loser.
Yeah. Connor doesn't even have a backup quarterback. He's gonna have to go like Joe Flacco or Carson Wentz or something.
Well, if he can get Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Which is crazy that he's gonna have to try to get Carson Wentz now.
I think Luke already has Carson Wentz.
Wow, he's gonna have to trade
because I tried to trade my boy Kirky C to him when I saw you starting Carson Wentz.
Luckily, Russell Wilson in week 2 was twice as good as Kirk Cousins. So
yeah, that's true. Do you think Connor would accept a trade for Kirk Cousins?
Send it to him. Send it to him right now, live.
Yeah, he might be demoralized.
Just Kirk Cousins for Russell Wilson, straight up.
Yeah. No, get a 15th round pick in there. Okay, so you've got Tua, Superman, Tavaliola, QB number 5 because of how many points he scored this week.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What about Jimmy G? Jimmy G's probably on the waiver wire.
Jimmy G is on the waiver wire. And then you got Winston had a terrible game on. I think Marcus Mariota is maybe like somebody you think about just because he can run around. But gosh, it is gross in there. You got Tannehill who got benched. You got Goff who. I
missed that second half. Was that a true benching of Tannehill, or was that hey, we're getting crushed, let's just see what we've got in Malik Willis?
That was we're gonna take our they didn't run Derrick Henry either.
Okay, all right.
We're giving
they
up.
Took out everybody.
So it wasn't specific to Tannehill's performance. It was just we're putting in our second string because we're getting crushed.
Right.
Dude, you basically in this matchup with Connor pulled a me light. You had Josh Allen and Jalen Waddle just go off, and you didn't need anything else. But the thing is, I just must say that my guy scored in the 40s, and yours could only manage the 30s. So.
Yes, but my bench is significantly worse than yours. And my main players, though, are much better names.
So your bench being worse makes your...
Yeah, you're like holding that up as a badge of honor.
Yes, yep. I'm not one of those dumb guys that has a bunch of good people on my bench.
Right.
Got trade value in their good bench.
I'm holding on to some younger rookie types. This is our keeper league, so. Speaking
of trades, here are some of the trades involving Connor that happened this week. That
full-blown panic mode.
Evan was you were pretty livid about.
Was this
a correct Dynasty?
Yeah, this isn't Dynasty.
Dynasty.
Oh, is it? I thought one of these was you took a screenshot and sent it to us.
That was last. You guys analyzed that last week. The Corbin's trade with CJ.
Oh yeah.
How you managed to get a third round? I heard Connor say this last week. How you managed to get a third round pick out of that? It was just throwing salt in the wound.
Well, I talked him into the trade, without the third round, and I was like, I basically reverse psychology to him. I said, you wouldn't want to be on my side of this trade.
Oh yeah, I know. I heard. I did my homework. I listened to you last week.
And so then my to make it fair move was to add the third round pick into it.
Oh brother, CJ, I hope you watch this and know how much you got fleeced.
I think everybody, there's something in my fingers that senses when somebody wants to get just destroyed on a trade, and like I can almost tell that they're leaning towards a player and they're being drawn to it, and I know they suck, and I go, let me just a light push, I don't shove anybody into these trades. Just here you go. What do you think about this guy right here?
Yeah,
Calvin thought about doing a trade
when before this season started, you tried to offer me Terry McLaurin for Stephon Diggs.
Yeah. Ooh, you didn't decline it right away. First, you texted me about it because I could my tradie senses were tingling.
And your tradie senses were off. I can assure you of that.
Yes. No. They were not off. I know if a trade's coming from me, it's because I also know that I don't want this person on my team anymore. I don't want them to be in my decision making. So let's analyze this one on the left though, because I love how bad Connor is, and let's roast him since he's not here. So this is a dynasty league trade.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Trades away Jalen Waddle and Bateman, who's turning out to be somebody who might matter. Both of them on the younger side of things for Robinson, who this could be his final year. I mean,
correct.
He is not great. And then Sutton, who's like an every other year player. He likes to get injured.
Has had injury concerns. He's playing with one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, Russell Wilson.
Yep. And then he also is not the wide receiver one. Like Jerry Jeudy is definitely the wide receiver one, just based on the forced targets that he gets. So, and then like the Cordero Patterson throw in is kind of like me getting that third round from CJ. Chris wins the trade without Cordero Patterson, and then Carr just well, let me throw in this running back that's a flex / RB2 if you need it.
And so just to be clear, this occurred between week 1 and week 2, correct?
Correct.
So after Patterson had 21 carries for 100 and something yards.
Yeah.
And Allen Robinson did horrible.
And Allen Robinson, crapped the bag.
Allen Robinson did horrible. I don't remember if Sutton had a great game or not, but I don't think he did.
I think he was mediocre.
Quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connor likes to believe in players without any stats or anything to back it up. He'll just be like, I believe that this person's gonna do well.
I don't know what it is. If it's the way names sound, he loves Deebo Samuel. Maybe it's names that end in S or start in S for their last name.
Or they have an S in their last name.
Right. Yeah, they just have an S. Yeah, there you go. Robinson and Sutton. It ends in an N, has an S in it. That's Connor's trade bait right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So got wrecked, but that's partially we're looking at that from the Waddle perspective. I am still not a Waddle believer though. Mainly because I'm not a Tua believer.
If I were to grade this, I'd give Chris an A- and Connor probably a C-.
Yeah. Well, the only thing, let's say Waddle ends up being in that Landry role, not Landry role, but Landry category of fantasy producers where he does produce, and then every once in a while he'll have a crazy game like this.
Brandon Cooks is a good, maybe current.
Okay, yeah. It's just the fact that if you did Waddle against Robinson, even if you think Robinson is going to be better somehow, it would only be slightly. But Waddle is 5 years younger than Robinson. And
right.
then
The dynasty matters.
Right. And so then, Sutton is the best player in the trade before week 2. But like, again, not like Chris both got longevity out of this trade and the better players ultimately. So awesome
especially
trade.
after week 2.
Yep. And then, so Connor, going for again flash over longevity, but trading his first and third away. He just doesn't want to draft anymore.
Yeah.
This trade I actually don't think is that. I think it's pretty even. I'm not an Ayuk fan, but I'm also not a Higgins fan.
So fill me in. Is CJ bottom of the barrel in this dynasty league as well?
Yeah, CJ's rebuilding this year. He's accumulating. He probably in this league was a middling team. And has turned himself into a bottom team. Because he's trading away. Like one thing I don't get about this trade from the CJ perspective of rebuilding is like, why do you want Williams? Maybe he's going to turn out to be somebody, but like, I guess you're shooting for, I guess, a long shot in this. But like T Higgins has just as much possibility to be like T Higgins could be the Mike Williams to Keenan Allen that Jamar Chase would be, right? And then I don't love Ayuk and or the San Francisco passing game, although Jimmy Garoppolo now being the starter, that's helpful for Ayuk. But Williams is just a long shot, and then Goddard is I don't know. I mean, Goddard might end up being a top 5 tight end, and right. He's got 4 more years left.
A number 1 tight end.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
I agree. I agree. It looks pretty even on paper to me.
Yeah, and so it's a rebuild move, but it's not like it doesn't really move the needle either way. Like, it's pointless to me, I think.
Yeah,
okay.
I think Connor just goes into super trade mode after a loss, and he just sends out a bunch. And I don't even think he hopes that some of them get accepted, but then they do, and he's just depressed afterward.
Yeah.
Before we move on from this trade segment, I had a trade etiquette question that I thought might be a good discussion point.
Yeah.
So in Softest, Calvin here 6 days ago sent me a trade offer, straight up Deontay Johnson for DJ Moore. I have DJ, he has Deontay.
Okay.
It's still sitting there.
Yep.
Is it proper trade etiquette if I were to just right now click accept on that trade, even though it's just been sitting in that queue, undiscussed, untouched for essentially a week now?
Well, I can withdraw it, so I'm still.
So I'm still open. Were you aware that trade was still active?
Yeah, I'm still aware that trade's active. I don't know what the etiquette would be if somebody forgot about it and then typed after the accepted oh no, I forgot about it. I feel like that's just their fault.
I on purpose will send out trades knowing that the person will counter, and I'll send them out Sunday morning, hoping they counter and forget about their counter just in case my person gets injured, and then I can just hit trade after the game.
So you're asking the most devious person on the planet.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I'm trade Satan. I've been deemed trade Satan. So, is it gentleman's conduct? I'd say no. But this is a game of violence, and the closest thing that we can get to, legal war for Americans. And so I think espionage is totally acceptable. Obviously, if you do something that's cheating and you get caught, you should also be penalized. But I don't know. He sent the trade. It's his responsibility. In the Sleeper app, you can put a timer on it. So
right.
Yeah.
You have all the opportunity to not let that trade happen. And so I love penalizing stupidity. If somebody sends a trade and they forget to withdraw it from you, and then something terrible happens and the other person accepts it, I'm actually even more in favor of the trade at that point.
You think that is great entertainment value?
Oh yeah, yes, it does have great. Then they'll be up on a board like this where we'll be looking at the trade. And
That's
we'll
right.
go, look at this idiot.
I'm glad you're looking at the trade. I thought you just didn't look at your trades.
No, I will admit I don't know how I missed it. You know how I miss trades in that league? Because you get 6,000 offers a week from Connor. I just get sick of looking at those that I miss when someone else sends me one.
Because I don't think that's a terrible trade.
So here's the thing. Connor does not send me trade offers ever because he's afraid. He's afraid he's going to accidentally send me one, and I'm going to accept it, and then he's going to know that he's made a mistake right away. But he never sends me trade offers. He rarely sends me counters.
He's a bit milder this year, actually, I feel like.
Okay, so in our Dynasty League, I had a massive blunder. I was trying to trade. I have both D. Hopkins, the kicker, and D. Hopkins, the wide receiver.
No.
So I offered Hopkins, the receiver, and a pick to Wooly, right, and I don't remember what I was trying to get. Probably like DJ Moore, TJ McLaurin if I don't have them, because I did try to shop low on them. And then he rejected it and countered it, and he accidentally put in my kicker. Like he put in a ridiculous, like if it was DeAndre Hopkins, it was a ridiculous trade. So I immediately declined it. And then I looked back and I went, oh my God, that was my kicker. And I could have traded him my kicker in that trade.
So you would have been fine doing that.
You would have had no second thoughts about pressing accept on that trade.
No, I would in fact press accept, and then I'd screenshot it and text it to him, and then I'd send it to the rest of the group, and go, look at this. This is incredible.
Oh man.
Yeah, because I part of me, like, and this is egocentric of me, I fully expect that to be done to me, right? If I'm dumb enough to do something like that, then, and somebody were to accept it, I would go, I deserve that. I fully deserve it. So, yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would take the Dustin Hopkins side in that trade anyway. So.
Oh man. All right, we got we could switch it up and do the look at other leagues draft first if it comes up. Yeah. All right, so this is a local league with me and Connor, and this was our draft. So if you guys wanted to analyze,
was Evan in this draft?
No, Evan. I don't think Evan's ever.
And this is just a redraft, right?
Yes. Yep. So this is just top of the.
So real. All right. So we're just gonna call them 1 through 12, right? 1, 2, 3, 4.
I have the names of them on the other slide, but I don't think you know some of them, so it won't really matter that much.
Okay, so one of these to me is obviously, like, this year been the worst team. It's probably 0-2 and has scored the least amount of points. Have there been a lot of trades in this league?
Not at all. Okay,
so Team 4 sucks. I'm calling that right now. Like, they might have, 50 points a game?
Dude, wait. They went back-to-back Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow?
Oh, right. You know who that was? He wasn't there. He wasn't there for the draft, so it was auto drafting.
Oh, it was auto draft? Okay, yeah. All right. So that guy deserves that, because if you do an auto draft, especially if it's like the only league that you do, I would prefer you to just not watch any football and not play fantasy football. Yeah. Go to your drafts. Be a part of your drafts. It's the whole point, right? Like, suck at managing your team, but at least go to the draft,
It was his first year, and he's done very
should be his last year. That guy should not play again. Sorry, guy. You're terrible. Reevaluate your values in your life. Okay.
This is something I've noticed in a lot of leagues that happen here. I mean, Cooper Kupp fell to 9. I mean, that's just too low for Kupp. I think we all kind of tried to get too cute a little bit with Kupp, maybe. And the reality is he's just going to be a top 2 wide receiver again.
I think, I mean, depending on when you were doing your draft, I think there was a lot of fear about like if Stafford was even going to be playing in the beginning of the season.
Right.
So if you drafted earlier, like I get that a little bit, but yeah, I mean that's like next year though, right? Because he's going to be what 30 next year. Like, are you still going to put him in the first round?
I think it'll be the same, maybe second round if he still is as good.
Because I'd rather be. This is how I kind of approach the aging wide receivers. Is like I would rather be wrong about if it's their last or second or third last year, right? Than like draft them and have them for their Allen Robinson year last year, right? Of going from like, hey, I'm a top 12 wide receiver to I don't matter at all.
Yeah, although I think that steep cliff fall off happens less with wide receivers than it does. Like, to me, that risk is greater with running backs. Like,
I don't know. I mean, like, because you can kind of pinpoint like Allen Robinson's year last year went like that badly, right? Julio Jones's last year went that badly. AJ Green's last year went that badly. It's looking like Keenan Allen might be doing it this year, which I tried to stay off of him. Um, and like the elite ones, right? So because the other thing that happens, I think the teams kind of see it, and so then they start to like draft a wide receiver, right? Now, what's tough is like I thought that was going to be the case for Tyreek Hill this year, and then you get it super wrong, where
right.
he's getting 12 targets a game and he still looks insane.
Right.
But like AJ Brown's last year, and that maybe was like a head case thing, but when he went to the Raiders and
Antonio Brown,
his marbles, yeah, Antonio Brown, yeah, they go from like mattering all the way to mattering not at all.
Looking at
tight
this,
ends are the only ones that do a slow decline.
I think I would take like the first 2 rounds wide receivers over almost all those running backs. Maybe a couple running backs I would pick above those people.
Oh, like you're saying you would rather have Devonta Adams than almost all the running backs at this point.
Yeah, or Diggs, or
Deebo Samuel, right?
Tyreek
they
Hill.
went really running back heavy, and they did tight ends in the early rounds. So, is there any like weird? Are there tight end premium in this league or anything like that?
Just regular standard half PPR.
Yeah. So then, let's see.
Cam Akers, third round for Team 11. That's brutal value.
Yeah. Okay, so Calvin, do you have what the standings are for this league?
I can pull it up. I don't have it on a slide.
Don't show it to Evan and I. Yeah. Evan, real quick, let's pick top 3, bottom 3. Right? I definitely already picked what I think is last place. I think that I'm leaning towards. Let's see who. There was somebody's team that I did not like. Let's see, what is this? Team 7. Yeah, Team 7 can catch second to last place on my list. And then probably Team 6.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. Team 4 is worst.
Team 4 is worst. Team 6 and Team 7 are my votes for the Doo Butter Awards: bronze, silver, and gold.
All right. Oh, yeah.
I'll do, and then I'll pick. You all right? We're just doing bad right now. We're not picking our good.
Yeah.
I'll go. I agree. 7, second worst, and then I'm gonna go.
See, this is tough because there were like waiver wire moves and stuff, but there wasn't. I'm
gonna go 3, third worst.
3.
3, third worst.
Yeah, I could see them struggling.
All right, I'm gonna show the
really sticks out
teams now.
All right,
so those are the teams.
Oh yeah, get some, Luke. I knew you'd be in this league and stink.
So number 1 overall is Will Sucks.
Will Sucks.
He's 9th.
I would have picked him as my best team. Yeah.
Wow.
2-0, 306 fantasy points.
Wait. Will Sucks is the best team, right?
Yeah. And
yeah,
then
by far.
Second is Crimpers. I don't think it was Crimpers. Blake Eds. Blake.
Oh,
Blakes.
wow. That was one of the teams we picked as worst.
He's second.
Really?
And then unsolicited Dak picks is third. Which is where is that? I don't know where he drafted.
People changing their team name mid-season, party foul.
Yeah, I don't know where. Oh, he's second.
Well, okay. Unless your team name was like your name when you drafted, and then you're waiting to make sure you got a player to do a player-based name, I'm okay with that.
So he drafted second.
That's the third best?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so give it. Who's worse? Who's worse?
The fourth best is the fourth person.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know that's possible. Are you saying by record or by points or both?
By record and points. He's 1-1.
He played back to back. He played other bad teams.
He had to have.
So then, last is
got Marlon Mack on his team. Carly drafted Marlon Mack in the 16th round. Right.
So last is number 1 overall, Stonks.
Wow.
He has 177 points total out of 2 weeks.
So that's averaging like less than 90 points a week.
And then
yeah, I mean his team's pretty bad. He's got no wide receivers at all.
Connor is second to last with 0-2. He's your grandma.
Oh man, he must not have been starting Equiminius St. Brown.
10th.
That
10th round.
Oh, he's 10. He's not 8. Who's 8?
That's Olivia.
Oh.
And then I am 10th. I'm third worst. And I drafted last.
I'm
0-2. So what you're telling me is 2 of the 3 hosts of this podcast are at the bottom of the barrel in this league.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Nice. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Okay. I should have guessed it was Alex Lafreni. He didn't have anything to do either. 100%.
Yeah.
Alex, stop playing Smite so much. Do your NFL. You do your fantasy football draft. He's getting nervous about it, and so then he let it auto draft, and then you still got roasted as looking like the worst team I've ever seen in my life.
And he's
good.
Fourth overall in the league.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Marlon Mack just got signed to the San Francisco 49ers, so might be a sleeper pick.
All right, so we're gonna end the stream with your number 1 quarterback prediction for the week. And
so I have a sleeper, not a sleeper, spicy take.
Spicy take? You want to do the spicy take first?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my spicy take first to influence you guys.
Okay.
In your QB1 pick, Josh Allen will not be a top 5 quarterback through the rest of the year because he won't be playing in the short quarters anymore.
That might, dude. The Bills look so good.
He might not even play in some games because they smoke.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe they'll start and give like a handicap to the other team and then put Josh Allen in.
The only thing that I could see them doing where then maybe Josh Allen actually goes and is even better fantasy value is if they let like Stephon Diggs be quarterback for one game.
And like Josh Allen be running back or something.
He'd probably be tight end. Yeah.
He'd probably still do pretty well. He'd probably be the number 1 tight end overall.
No, he might score even more points, right? That's my fear. But I'm just saying, like, so last night I had a parlay, and I don't know why I picked the over, but I hit 5 of my 6 picks, and one of my picks was Tannehill to throw over 190 yards, and he got to 120 yards, and then they sat him. And I was like, oh, they're getting crushed. He's going to have to start chucking the ball, and he's going to throw for another 120 yards, and I'm going to be totally fine. No. Instead, I can't believe I'm going to be surprised if they don't get penalized for that. It's a Monday night football game, and you take your starters out. I get it. Like, if you were on Sunday at 1 o'clock and you could kind of hide it, but, like, you are prime time and you're going to take your starters out. That's insane.
And it's week 2. Like they were the number 1 seed in the AFC last year. Like
right, and it's not because of any injuries or anything.
Right.
There's no like Dak Prescott getting injured. I get it, or let's say like Derrick Henry got hurt, but nothing. There's nothing wrong with your team supposedly, other than your talent.
Yeah, their coach looked visibly angry the whole game too. He was like getting mad at everything.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. I mean, what I think though is it's not even indicative of like them being that bad. I think the Bills are just going to buzzsaw everybody.
Yeah.
It's wild. You'd think Josh Allen would stop getting better at some point, but
they're like in a whole nother league. They're not playing in the NFL.
Okay, so
all right.
Sorry to interrupt that.
Before we pick, we don't want to pick a Monday night so that we can know when we record this next week that who won. So if your guys Monday night, please switch it.
Wait, do you know what the Monday night game is offhand?
I can look it up. Okay. So I won, so I'm last. So Connor was
first.
Connor was last. I won the thing with Saquon got 10.
What did I pick?
Oh yeah,
you got Jonathan Taylor who picked
all
7.
3 of your picks were like doo-doo.
Yeah, and then Connor picked Cook for 6, got 6. So I won by 3. So Connor has to do double punishments next week. He has to wear a fake earring and eat an onion, and then possibly do another punishment on top of that.
Nice. I think so.
No, I mean like if he loses, if Evan's pick loses, because Evan's not going to do the punishment.
Evan's going to pick for him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Russell Wilson.
That honestly, I was planning to take him, and then you talked me out of it. So,
so you're gonna get trades from Corbin for Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Evan, you can go first.
All right, so we're doing our number 1. This is not our sleeper, right?
You do your sleeper too, because
I said both.
Connor got last, so you can do both.
Like I said, you want me to say both right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going a little sleeper for my number 1. I'm going Joe Burrow. Bounce back.
Ooh.
They're going to be mad 0-2. They're playing the Jets, I believe.
Yep.
And at some point, that offense is going to figure out a little bit. I'm saying he's going to have a big week. And then for my sleeper, I'm glad I'm going first because I think I'm about to steal Corbin's sleeper. My boy Carson Wentz.
Yep.
For the Commanders. I have a question for you, Calvin.
What?
Since I'm sure Corbin knows this since he loves Carson Wentz so much. Who's number 2 in the NFL in passing yards right now?
Carson Wentz.
Carson freaking Wentz.
Who's number 1? Joe Flacco?
I believe that's correct, sir.
I think it's Tua Tagovailoa now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a vaunted top 3 in passing yards.
Yeah.
And I would argue that Carson Wentz is the best of the bunch. Don't sleep on this Commander's offense. So he's my sleeper pick.
All right. Corbin?
Yes. Okay. So I'm actually going to also pick a sleeper in your former Washington Commanders, Kirk Cousins. They're playing Detroit, and Kirk Cousins' motto is suck on primetime, make up for it next week. And So I think Justin Jefferson is going to go off. My sleeper, and I actually thought about picking this as my number one, is actually Derek Carr. I think that the Raiders are a very good team that is 0-2, and they are going to bring out every special play to make sure that they win this game. And I think that's going to include passing to Devontae Adams more than the 4 times they passed it to him last game.
I feel like this has more to do with the wide receivers you have on your fantasy teams and less to do with the quarterbacks themselves.
No, so I first, the very first team I looked for, because Baltimore sucks at defending wide receivers, apparently, so far this season. Unfortunately, the Patriots are playing them, and Mac Jones and the bum scrum that he's throwing to are not going to do anything. So that's I was looking for matchup based stuff. So, and then I wanted to pick on who's playing the Jets. Burrows, right? Because the Jets are not great, but you picked Burrows, so I had to scramble. But no, I'm big on Derek Carr this week. I think he does have a bounce back game. And then my hopeful, but there's no way because he doesn't have anybody to throw it for, is I hope Tom Brady crushes Aaron Rodgers at Green Bay. But I don't even think I know who is going to be wide receiver. Russell Gage maybe will be wide receiver 1 for Tampa Bay this week.
Scotty Miller. Brashad Perriman.
Oh yeah, that's right. Brashad Perriman is going to be RB.
Well, did you see who they signed? Did you see who they signed to their practice squad? Cole Beasley.
Right. I mean, Mike Evans is suspended. Chris Godwin's injured. Julio Jones is broken. Yeah, and Lenny is not. It's not playoff Lenny. It's regular season Lenny all the way. They're struggling, but no, I think the Raiders are just going to throw a ton, and that's why I like Derek Carr. I do like Burrows though, but I'm going to go with Cousins because you're right. I selfishly want Justin Jefferson to have another 40 points. I'm good with an on-off like every other week. He scored 40. I'm happy with that. It's acceptable.
Corbin, your face is currently not visible.
Sorry. It's way past my bedtime. Yeah. I just want everybody to know these podcasts are a full-blown hour past when I am I have my earbuds in, my sleep buds. I put my CPAP on. It's 8:30 and I turn the last light off, and then I'm asleep 5 minutes later. And now I'm not going to be in bed till 10:15. Sacrifices.
Yep. For our million viewers. All right, I'm picking Jalen Hurts for my number 1 running back.
Yeah, yep.
And I'm gonna go with Jimmy G for my sleeper. I think he's got the receivers to do well. And I heard something that he doesn't score less than 19 points when he starts a game or something like that.
No, he's never scored more than 20 on average.
Oh. So that's the wrong stat.
You got the backwards stat. Yeah.
So he's breaking that pattern this week is my sleeper prediction.
He's the most average quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
He's the best. Jimmy Garoppolo was the best backup quarterback in football, and now he's the most average starting quarterback in football.
Notice you didn't say worse.
No, he's not, because Russell Wilson is still starting. Mitchell Trubisky is still starting. Yeah, there's lots of Justin Fields. I think is still starting.
Yeah, Justin Fields has not looked fantastic.
11 throws.
Listen to these guys who are starting. It feels like we are in 2016. We have Geno Smith, Marcus Mariota, Jameis Winston, I guess Kirk Cousins, Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. These are all
Don't forget who is supposed to make the Colts elite, Matt Ryan.
Oh yeah, Matt Ryan. Oh yeah, he's so far down on my list. I didn't even run into him. Ryan Tannehill. I mean, Carson Wentz is back. When do you think Daniel Jones gets replaced?
They're 2-0.
Yeah, that's true. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I think quarterbacks this year are just like, it's kind of like how tight ends have been in the past, where you had like, well, even like right now, I couldn't tell you who tight end 3, 4, and 5 are, but it's the quarterbacks are so bad this year, just terrible. I hate that they're this bad. I have Russell Wilson in one league, and I still won, but barely, and I just didn't need that pain in my life to be like watching him suck as bad as he did, with my game riding on the line. And this is my big money league.
So you have 2 quarterbacks then, right?
No, after we kicked out our famous baseball player and some other people out of that league, we also decided to reduce the tension by not making it a super flex either. Which I didn't know until the day of the draft. So, and thankfully I found out, because I would have been picking 2 quarterbacks right off the bat. I'd have been like, wow, why is everybody taking wide receivers and running back? Yeah. No.
Oh, we didn't do punishments.
Oh yeah. Well, lemonade stand.
Oh yeah. So punishment I picked for this week is the loser has to, for an hour, set up a lemonade stand and by themselves sell lemonade to the public. And if you're asked why you're selling lemonade, you have to say you're just trying to make some extra money in this economy.
Nice. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. I don't want to do that one.
Who was your pick for quarterback? Joe Burrows?
Joe Burrow and Carson Wentz.
And who was your pick, Calvin?
Hurts, Jimmy G.
Jalen Hurts will hopefully be the best. Who's Jalen Hurts playing?
With Washington. The Manders.
Oh, nice. So he's going to crush them. Okay. My quarterback is definitely the worst out of these 3. Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, let's just have the single penalty and we'll know what's coming, but it could be you, me, or Connor.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
I think I'm good with that.
All right.
Especially since I'm having a garage sale in like 3 weeks, so.
Nice.
Be a little weird, but not as weird as single lemonade stand.
You gotta record it so we can see.
Yeah, it does have to be recorded or at least photographed.
Oh, everybody has. Sorry, I guess I'm speaking for like this future that I live in. I think all phones have video recording nowadays, don't they?
Oh yeah, I know, but you could say you did it.
Maybe not in Winchendon or whatever.
Oh, we should add
you have to set like a live cam or something.
Yeah, we should like live stream it or like have to get a photograph with like your first sale, like with a stranger.
Let's do it so that let's change it a little bit, not an hour, until you make at least 10 sales.
Yeah, I was gonna say like an hour or like 5 sales or something. So yeah, okay. All right, 10 sales.
So and selfie with all 10 of them.
Selfie?
You really want to do 10? Do you want to downgrade it to 5?
No, I mean I want to make at least $10. So double digits.
You're gonna be charging $1 for that glass of lemonade?
Yeah. It's hot down here. It's Florida.
Inflation too.
Yeah.
I love how you're accepting that you're the one that's gonna have to do it.
Yeah. I'm seeing this as a real possibility, but like what I'm thinking is I might throw it in the back of my truck and have Carly, drive around, and
No. You can't
play it like an ice cream truck.
You can't use your wife.
You didn't say I couldn't have a mobile lemonade.
Oh, if you're selling it,
yeah, but you've got to be the face of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit in the trunk and have a little hat and everything.
All right.
Yep. And I'll just throw it at people as they come up to my truck. Maybe that's what I'll do. Lemonade.
The crazy thing is that wouldn't even make like Florida Man news if you were doing that.
Wouldn't even be local. I could. You know what I could do is I could drive up to the crackheads that live up on Mobile 6 right there and do that to them.
You wouldn't make $10 doing that.
No, but it'd be a good video. Yeah.
Or you could die from that.
Be like, hi, my name is Evan Clemson. Here's my cell phone number, and take this lemonade.
All right, that's it for the podcast. I'm stopping recording.